Well, good evening and welcome to all those out there joining us from Cornerstone Christian Academy. We're here tonight as the Cyclones taking on crosstown rivals Calvary Christian Academy, also with the same initial CCA. We claim they stole them from us, but they claim not. But we're both CCA, so it's CCA versus CCA tonight. We've got two games for you, a JV match and then a varsity match. JV will come up first here. They're only going to play one set tonight because of some numbers and some number issues that Calvary has. Just one set for the JV match, and then we'll roll right into the varsity match. But good evening and welcome here, live from Cornerstone Christian Academy. I'm Dan Kinzinger alongside Jeremy Masters. And Jeremy, this is the first time this year that we've played Calvary?
This is the first time I've seen them. They played them in their tournament last weekend.
Okay.
So varsity has played them. JV has not played them yet this year.
From the looks of things, though, I know they've got a couple of girls out, but like you were saying, we think that most of these girls are going to play varsity as well, so it's going to be you're going to see the same team on both ends.
Yep. So is this your alma mater? Did you go to Calvary?
So I did not graduate from Calvary, but I went to Calvary. Matter of fact, the head coach for Calvary down there, Mrs. Amy Hareen, she was Amy Hedrick back in the day, and she was in my class.
Oh, okay.
So we went to school together for, 8 years.
Wow.
8 years. Matter of fact, now Sarah and I and our family, we go to church at Calvary, and we're in small group with her. So
Okay.
we've got family connections on both sides. It's a lot of fun to call these. What's that? There's always family connections. My daughter says yes, that's correct. It's fun to know people. So yeah, but. Glad to be back. I took some time off. I decided I was going to go to Florida and not tell anybody. And it is harvest time this time of year. So
similar to Florida for you. This
similar
is good
Florida.
times.
It's Christmas for me.
That's right.
It's something that I've done since I was a little kid and our family farm and enjoy being out there. Raining tonight, obviously, so we're not doing anything. So we're doing a broadcast instead. But rest assured that. What are you doing? Don't color with my pencils. They're pens. Sorry. But no, glad to be back here tonight on the Cyclone Broadcast Network and to the three people. One just dropped off because we were talking that are currently watching us. Actually, there's 5 right now. So now we'll have a game starting up here. This first one starts in about 3 minutes. We'll get this one rolling. And I would imagine probably within 20 to 30 minutes after the first game gets started, we'll have the varsity match get started as well. So Cyclones, again, it's a day off school for Cornerstone. So I'm not expecting a massive student body turnout. So, we've had the thing with tons of students and a big student section on the stage. I see a few of them up there tonight, but it's probably going to be a little different this evening. Yeah,
it looks like the soccer players coming in after practice are going to support the girls, so that's good. Good to see.
I've seen that Coach Morin has let the girls off practice a couple of times to go out and support the soccer team, and so the soccer team is coming back to do the same thing. And I'll wave up there. Do I get hello? No, they're not even looking. They're not
going to acknowledge you.
Not even a chance. New officials tonight. I don't recognize these guys.
No, I don't either.
So we've got our typical starting 6 out there. Let's run through the rosters here real quick. First off, for the visiting Knights from Cornerstone, once I get to that page. So number 14, Macy Jackson. Number 6, Maddie Whistler. Number 4, Addie Jackson. Number 12, Glory Wetzel. Number 0, Riley Gerber. Number 10, Elise Seiler. Number 7, Britta Guthrie. Number 1, Aubrey Ormore. And number 8, Haven Cox. For Cornerstone, you've got number 4, London DeHart. Number 5, Lizzie Hennard. Number 6, Kate Hancock. Aubrey Kinzinger is 8. 10 is Carson Witt. Faith Hughes 11. 12, Eliana Woodman. 13, Grace Masters. 16, Caitlin Scott. 17, Maris Largent. 28, Natalie Heil. And 29 is Karis Wolf. Your starters tonight out there on the court, Kate Hancock. Number 17, Maris Largent. You've got Natalie Heil out there. You have got Grace Masters. You got Faith Hughes. And you have got
Lizzie Hennard
out there as well to round it out. So Maris Largent getting the getting the start tonight for the Cyclones, and she's really been working on her setting, coming over as a first-year transfer into Cornerstone. So we'll see how that plays out tonight. Calvary back to serve. The Knights, number 1, back to Lizzie Hennard. Back row, Hughes. Hughes now with it up front. Kate Hancock just has to tip it over. She does. Back row dugout by the Knights. Up to the front. They got to get it over. They do. Hughes again, up in the air. Heil to Hancock. Hancock turns and a little bit awkward and out of position on that one. Puts it into the net, so the first point of the night goes to the Knights.
So JV coming off of a third-place finish in the tournament. And Kate Hancock actually playing now. She was not there for Saturday.
Neither her or Carson Witz.
They were both playing varsity, where they got first place.
So congratulations to both squads. Masters gets that one over, returned back nicely. Hughes now with it, up to Heil. Over to Hennard. Hennard fires back row, dug out by the Knights, tipped up in the air. Far side, that one a little bit miscommunication there by the Knights. It's going to fall and go out of bounds, and we're tied up 1-1 with a side out to the Cyclones. Trying to look down into the stands. I see many people that I know. If I can get them up here maybe to talk about them, I will. I'll talk about them while they're not knowing I'm up here. Fired into the net by the Knights. That one is a point to Cornerstone. 2-1 now. Cyclones lead by 1. You know, I miss the high schoolers because the high schoolers have the score overlay and they do all the cool camera shots and all that.
We are definitely missing them tonight.
Dug out here by the Knights. Far side. They just have to get it over on 3. They do. Hughes up to Heil. Heil now near side. Hancock with it. Just tips it over. Finds an open spot. Dug out by the libero. Back row. Tips it back over. Hughes again with it. This one's going to be tight up in the net. And they're going to say that the Knights hit the net on that. And a point to the Cyclones, now 3-1. So Lizzie Hennard here. Back to serve. Back row, and that one's go for an ace for Lizzie as number 14. Let's see, there is Macy Jackson, I'm sorry. Was unable to pull that one out. Lizzie Hennard back with it again. Fires back row. Jackson with it now up to the front. This one has to get over, reaches, fires back row, and Lizzie Hennard wishes she had that one back. That probably would have went out of bounds, and it'll be a side out back to the Knights. Knights back with it to serve. And that one going cross court, and that was a nice serve by the Knights right up at head level to that back row. So it's that really undecided spot of how do you hit that one back? How do you return this one?
Yeah, and that had some good speed on it, so Grace didn't quite have enough time to figure out what she wanted to do.
Hughes had to decide on that one, decided to take it. Grace takes it across court. That one's just going to go out of bounds by about a foot. And all of a sudden, we are tied up at 4. Addie Jackson back to serve for the Knights. Again, fires back row. That one's going to go out of bounds. And probably the first 2 would have as well.
Yeah, I think so.
And Coach said, hey, let's let one of those go if they're questionable. And that turned out as a side out for the Cyclones. Hancock back with it now for Cornerstone to serve. Dug out in the back row. This one's going to be trouble up in the net. Set back, fired across, dug out nicely by Hennard. This one's up in the net, and again, Cornerstone has struggled with that all year long, that back row, getting that pass up to the setter.
Yeah, and the setter has to make that decision whether she's just going to tip that over or try to dig it out at the net.
5-5 the score. Calvary with the serve. That one, a nice serve to the back row, is going to go off Masters' arms and out of bounds. And Calvary now with a 6-5 lead. Substitutions in the game for the Cyclones. Aubrey Kinzinger comes in for Kate Hancock. Back to serve for Calvary, number 6, Maddie Whistler. Up in the air. Heil over to Masters. Masters fires back row, and a nice hit by Grace to put that one down about a foot inside the line at the back row.
Yeah, good hit there. Just put it right at the line. Looked like Calvary backed off of it. Thought it was going to go out of bounds.
So Maris Largent now back for the Cyclones to serve here, tied up at 6. Largent serves the back row. That one went off some arms, is going to have to get dug out, and it's not going to make it back across. And a point. Nice serve there by Maris. Point 7-6 now. Cyclones up by 1. Again, only playing one set. Largent with a nice serve there. It goes over. She comes up, recovers the dig. Fires over the net is Hughes. Back up at the net, going for the block. And they're going to give Cornerstone the point. I thought she was in the net, but they're going to give it to the Cyclones there.
She touched the top of the net.
She did. 8-6, 2-point Cyclone lead. Largent back to serve again. Third time. Maris fires back row. Tipped up in the air. Dug out. Has to go over. It does. Lizzie Hennard with it now. Near side. Heil. Over to Masters. Masters fires back row. What a nice hit by Grace. Little confusion up front. Maris Largent reaches back. Tips this one over. Set up nicely. Middle fires back row. Kinzinger digs it out. This one's going to go over and off the hands of the defender up in the front row for the Knights. And a point to Cornerstone.
That was a good volley there. Good back and forth.
Yeah, it was. Largent now with her 4th serve. She's had 3 points in a row. This one going to the middle. Hennard with it up into the net, and Heil reaches up for that one. She was doing what you were saying earlier, and I think she's got to make that decision a split second faster. So side out, back over to the Knights, and back to serve number 7, Bretta Guthrie. Nice serve by Guthrie. Over to Hennard, up to Heil. Near side, Hughes has to tip it over. She does. Nice job. Masters with a great falling backwards swing and a kill to the back row. And Grace Masters with a great point right there.
So Cornerstone coming off of a big weekend. They had 4 games. They got a lot of playing time. Actually, by the 4th game, they were dragging. I mean, they
sure, anybody would be.
But that was some good playing time, and it actually allowed the girls to really interact well together and find that groove. And they haven't had that yet this year. They haven't had that much playing time.
And there's 2 aces in a row by Grace Masters. And Grace is one of those servers that when she gets on, she will be incredibly dangerous. 12-7, Cyclones up by 5 here in the one and only set in the JV match that we're going to play tonight. Masters with another nice set, back row. This one just tipped. They got to get it over. It's not going to happen. Fall. And Masters with 3 points in a row. So Masters is tied up there with Maris Largent for serves here, and she can go on a run. Grace, nice serve, back row. This one up at the net, though, could be trouble. Nice set, back across, dug out. Attempt by Kinzinger, but not quite enough on it. She hits that one into the ground. And a side out back to Calvary, 13-8.
Yeah, that ball came off the top of the net, took a little bit of speed off, so that one was hard to judge and get under it.
So we've had substitution in the games. Eliana Woodman now into the game, as well as Caitlin Scott, and that one's going to go off both Aubrey Kinzinger and Caitlin Scott's arms. And going to be a point over for the Knights. 13-9. Cornerstone leads by 4 here. As more soccer players make their way in. Back to serve Haven Cox for the Knights. That one's going to go into the net. And a side out back to the Cyclones. 14-9. Cyclones up by 5. Kate Hancock subbing back into the game now for Aubrey Kinzinger. And back to serve for the Cyclones, Faith Hughes. And Hughes is going to want that one back as that was a missed serve. So, you can tell the girls have been sitting around all day, Well,
I didn't know if it was that or what they're, just coming out slow.
Well,
yeah, I think that's probably what happened is they've been sitting around all day, so they
everybody
are
slept until noon, and, a little bit lethargic. Hughes with it up in the air to Heil. Heil near side. Hancock reaches back.
Oh,
what a
wow.
nice hit by Hancock. One of the best I've seen all year, and what a great save by the Knights to get that one back in play. Over Caitlin Scott, back corner. Nice hit by Caitlin. Back up front, have to get it over. They do. Cross court, out of bounds. And a point over to the Cyclones. But a nice volley there. Nice return by the Knights as well.
Man, yeah, both sides of the net. Kate had a great hit on that one, and Calvary did a great job digging it out.
Natalie Heil back to serve. And substitution, nope, substitution. Heil reaches back, fires back row. That one's going to go long and out of bounds. And a side out back to the Knights. Largent coming back into the game for Eliana Woodman. So Largent getting her first start of the year tonight and has played very well thus far. Masters, nice return, up to Heil. Over to Hancock, just tips it over. Nice read there by Kate. Back to the middle, they reach back over, dig it back out by Masters. Near side, Heil reaches back. Hancock loads and fires. And Kate, she ate her Wheaties this morning.
Yeah, she did. So she starts out with a little change up there, and then she hammers the next one.
That is two of the best hits I've seen Kate have all season long.
Yeah, she's on tonight.
Caitlin Scott coming out of the game, back into the game for the Cyclones, Lizzie Hennard. 16-11, Cyclones up by 5. Hennard now, back row, dug out by the libero. This one's going to be up the net, tipped over, and just on the line. And a very nice tip by the center for the Knights. Substitution now in for the Knights. Number 12, Glory Wetzel. And back to serve is Addie Jackson. Jackson, nice serve.
Wow, that was a good serve.
Up to Heil. Inside the middle to Hancock, who kind of reaches back and just gets it over. This one going to have to go over by the libero, who did a jump hit behind the red line, but nobody's paying attention. Masters with it. Nice kill by Masters. Attempt for a kill. Tipped over. Dug out by Heil. Back to the middle. Nobody's there. And a miscommunication. I don't think Hancock was quite ready for that one back to the middle. But regardless, a point for the Knights. Jackson back with it again. Nice serve. This one's going to go out of bounds, though. And a side out back to the Cyclones. 17-13. Cyclones now up by 4. Substitutions back into the game once again for the Knights. And Hancock back to serve for the Cyclones. Kate, back row. Dug right off the hand of number 10, Elise Seiler. And out of bounds. So an ace for Kate there. I call them faux aces because they're not true aces. Another nice serve. That one up at the net. Went over on one. Hennard with it. This one has to get over. Masters does. Back to the middle. Back row. Up to the center. Far side. Reaches back. Tips it over. And a nice, awkward but nice hit that I don't know if that was intentional or not.
It looked a little bit like a miss hit on
did.
that one.
It did. So regardless, sign out back to the Knights, 18-14. Only playing one set here tonight for the JV. Back row serve, dug out by Hennard. Up to the net, and just bounces over, and Faith Hughes just has to tip it over. She does. Back to the middle, dug out by Hennard. Up to Heil. Heil, far side. Somebody's got to call it, and we got to talk out there, and we didn't.
No, a little bit of confusion going on there.
So we're going to have a timeout here. More than likely called by our squad, as there's been some communication errors in this game.
Yeah, so different people out there on the court than what's normal. So, I mean, that's what happens. You're going to have communication errors when you're not used to playing with the people that are normally on the court.
So you've got, again, everybody's getting rotated in here. And we should see, I mean, Carson has not even came out on the court yet tonight. I think they've got Carson and one other that have not been out there, but I would imagine here we will see them very, very shortly. Calvary's going to maintain the ball, 18-15, three-point lead here. And back to serve number 6, Maddie Whistler. Nice serve by Maddie, back to Masters. Up to Heil. Heil near side, Masters left-handed, and again, she doesn't like to hit left-handed.
No, she doesn't. She's been practicing it, but she's not used to hitting left-handed.
So point to the Knights, 18-16. Knights now trail by 2. Whistler again, back row, Masters, up to Heil. Heil over to Masters again, reaches back, fires back row, and when she hits it, when she's on like that, she's the best out there.
That was a right-hander, and she had it all.
That was not her left hand.
That
right
was
there.
definitely not a left-hander. She hammered that one.
19-16. Cyclones now up by 3. Largent back to serve. And a looping serve back to the back row, set back to the middle, fired into the net. Hancock there to block it, but not necessary, and a point to the Cyclones. Now, Cornerstone up by 4. Largent, again, back to the middle. This one's going to be problems for the Knights. They do get it over. Largent with it up in the air. Heil, near side. Hughes fires back row, up in the air. Back to the front row, has got to get over, and they're successful. Hennard with it, up to Heil. Near side, Masters with it. Another great hit by Masters. Up with the left-handed block! And over the top.
You don't see that much from Grace.
Was there a stare down there at the end? Was there a stare down?
Are you on my court?
Nice block by Masters. Largent, again, a nice serve up in the air. Up to the front row, just tipped over, and that one's not even quite tipped over the net. Catches the top of the net and falls. And Cornerstone now 22-16, up by 6 here. Largent again, back row, brought up nicely. Far side, just tipped over. Masters tips it out. Here we go again. Reaches back, fired this one up in the air. What a great save by Hughes. Far side, reaches back, fires back row and down. And they say, hey, two can play at this game.
That's right. That was a good hit from Calvary.
Number 12, Glory Wetzel, with a nice hit there for the Knights. 22-17. Cyclones up by 5 here. The Knights back to serve. Aubrey Kinzinger, though, 2 people standing there and off Aubrey Kinzinger's offer forearms and out the wrong direction. And a point right over to the Knights.
So the Knights staying alive here. I thought you were going to break into song
staying
on
alive,
that.
Staying alive.
I set you up so
I
nicely for that.
I should have.
Okay, we just lost all our viewers.
6 down to 0 in no time flat. Grace Masters now back with it to serve. 23-18. Side out went back to the Cyclones here. Masters serves cross court. This one's going to be problems into the net and down. And we have match point right here as the Cyclones only playing 1 set tonight, so this is for the match. We'll see if we can get an ace by Grace. Down out of bounds. There we go.
There it is.
An ace by Grace to end it up, and 25-18. And I know she's your daughter, but what a great game she had tonight.
That was good. She had a good game Saturday. Saturday she had 4 good games, actually. That was good for them. Although it was exhausting, there's just nothing like playing that much volleyball right in a row to get in a real groove. Natalie was doing a great job setting.
Well, the other thing that it can do for a person, too, is it teaches you that when you get tired, to adjust other aspects of your game to be able to perform in the areas that you need to perform even when you're tired. You know what I'm saying in that?
Yeah.
So, I know a lot of the girls have struggled all year long with consistencies, and I think part of that comes from they come out there a little bit lethargic. Well, maybe playing 4 games in a row taught them how that when you get lethargic, you have to adjust A, B, and C to be able to perform up to your potential.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's a great point. So
if I'm not, it really sounded good.
We're just going to go with it.
I'm trying to see my friend Aaron Whistler. Mr. Whistler. So Mr. Whistler is he's got, I believe does he have one daughter here? I'm going to look here. I think he's got 1 daughter or 2 daughters potentially up there. I don't know why I'm trying to share a text. So he's got 1 daughter up there. But I'm going to bring him up here for some Aaron Whistler is a good friend of mine. So I'm going to bring him up here. Works for Calvary. And we'll have some good rivalry talk here a little bit. I think he's making his way up. Either that or he saw me and he decided just to leave the building.
Right.
One of the two. So, we're going to go right into the varsity match. I don't know if we're going to be doing announcements or anything like that or starting lineups. I have not seen a microphone up here. Have you seen a microphone come up here?
No, I have not. But I would be surprised if we don't do a lineup and all that. There's a microphone.
So I'm here with Aaron Whistler, and so Aaron, Jeremy Masters, I thought
Hi,
we'd
Aaron.
have some friendly rivalry here, rivalry talk. You've got a daughter. Jeremy's got a daughter out here tonight, and so the JV team comes out, and I thought your girls played incredibly well.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So is this like a friendly wager on now how the varsity team game will go from here?
So the question I think I've got is are I know you guys are short on numbers tonight. Are we going to see some of the same girls out there for the varsity match?
Yeah, I'd say all but two of the players who played in the JV match will also play on the varsity. And that's been the case most of the season. I think we're down a player or two tonight, but a lot of the same players.
So you obviously work for Calvary, and how long have you been at Calvary?
I've been at Calvary. This is my 7th year.
7 years. So we were talking earlier, alma mater versus where my wife and Cornerstone, where my kids go. It's one of those for these girls that are playing out there. Does your daughter feel that in-town rivalry that some of the parents feel?
Oh yeah, and I think it's been a fun rivalry for the last several years. I was telling someone the other day about. I think it was a home match we had maybe even last year or the year before where, the gym was packed. Cornerstone traveled en masse, and we had a good turnout, and the student bodies were going back and forth, but there was like a playful banter to it, and it was a great experience. Just a fun night of volleyball, fun night of, rivalry, but a good-natured rivalry. You could tell the students were enjoying kind of giving it to each other, but it was all in good fun. It was fantastic.
Well, we look forward to this game every night of the year, and I know they every season, I guess, every athletic season, we've got one night where we play, or 2 nights when we play Calvary, and that is one of the best rivalries of the season. So it's fun to be able to bring that to you, and it's fun to be able to have daughters out there, all 3 of us, that we get to watch. And I still can't believe I've got one this old, but I can believe for you because you're old. So
I feel every day of my 22 years.
Oh, well, thank you. I wanted to bother you a little bit.
Yeah, let's have a fun night of volleyball. This will be
That
great.
means he had a kid when he was about 8.
I started teaching when I was 15, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
just
So it's all relative.
very fast.
Aaron Whistler, everybody. Thank you, Aaron. Good to see you, man. So we are going to have a varsity match coming up here in a few. Jeff Morin has his clipboard out with his bandana thingies he's got hanging off there. I don't know the purpose behind those, but he's got them.
Some kind of good luck charm for all I can see.
So did he bring us up a microphone? Do we have a microphone?
It's sitting down here on the bleacher, so
Okay.
somehow we need to get that up here and probably connected to a wire because it's not.
Tell you what, we're gonna pause for a moment. We'll be right back with you. We're gonna see what we can do to make this all happen, and we'll be right back with you. Bringing varsity game here in about 10 minutes. Laura? You want me to do lineups? What would you like me to call you? That'd be great. Backboard right there. Yeah. Hey, Hugh. Mom? I will call you Mom. No, Mom's all I needed right there. That's it. That's what I wanted right there. So we're a little bit kabobbled here tonight because we have there was no school today, so we've got typically we've got high schoolers running around up here with us that are completely covered in all this tech stuff. So we're back to like we're on the road. It's just Dan and Jeremy basics. We've got one laptop, one camera, and just just a couple pieces of equipment up here. So we're in unwritten territory, but we don't even have any music tonight. It's like, do you have the old jock jams? You think we could play jock jams or something? All the kids would up here like, what is that? It's like CNC Music Factory. Nobody even knows who that is anymore. So that's what we used to warm up to is everybody dance now, that type of thing. I hate to even do it because everybody just look up at us like, you guys are just old. Gym's starting to fill up here. Nice turnout here for Calvary and also for the Cyclones. Matter of fact, I'm going to venture to say that Calvary has as many, if not more, people out here than the Cyclones do, at least on the bleacher side over here. We got one roster. Yeah, if I could, with starters. You're getting your workout tonight. Look at it that way. I just pick one and listen to it real quick. That's the Australian anthem.
Oh, we don't want to do
No, we don't need to do the Australian anthem. We've got one up here.
That one's fidgety.
This one's fidgety?
Yeah.
I'll give that to you then. Can I have the little adapter? Thank you.
Awesome. And then did Laura give you a fine line?
She's bringing them right now. We just about played the Australian national anthem for you.
Do you know which version you normally play, what it's called?
It's like instrumental, I think it says. Let me see. So for the girls' basketball game, the junior high, I played it on my phone just to make sure I could hear it, and then I forgot to press pause. But by the time I plugged it in for the audience, it was the Marine.
So we're juggling around, figuring out starters and all that so we can properly announce. Sousa. It's Sousa. That's it. That'll work.
And I marked your libero for announcing purposes.
Sweet.
Look at me go, I'm learning.
And you got 5 minutes to spare.
No! Maybe not the first 6 minutes. I have 11 minutes to spare. I could run home and make a
So we're going to go through rosters here real quick while we got time. And I'm going to start with the visiting rosters from Calvary normal for their varsity. Number 8 is Haven Cox. Number 6, Maddie Whistler. Number 4, Addie Jackson. Number 12, Glory Wetzel. 14, Macy Jackson. Number 1 is Aubrey Graymore. Number 0 is Riley Gerber. Number 7 is Britta Guthrie. 5 is Caitlin Filyaw. And number 10 is Elise Seiler. And then for your Cyclones, we've got some missing tonight because some decided that it was okay to take a vacation during fall break. Number 4 is Alexa Hitteman. Number 5, Anna Hancock. Number 6, Kate Hancock. Number 7, Laura Unruh. Number 8 is Adrian Gary. Number 10 is Carson Witt. Number 13, Grace Masters. Number 14, Jenny Damarajan. Number 15, Olivia Smith. Number 11 tonight is Olivia Hitteman. And number 29 is Lizzie Hennard. So we are missing Karis Wolf tonight. We're missing Jess Halverson. We're missing Callista Hammer. And we're missing Haley Webb this evening. So Cyclones, that was just huge by Anna Hancock. Wow. So we're missing some, so it'll be an interesting match. Cyclones still have some firepower in there as well. But Jeremy, just kind of like you said, before earlier, that anytime you shift up the lineups and change things up a little bit, we you're going to see the hiccups, you're going to see the mistakes just because there's different people out there playing.
Yeah, you're going to lose the consistency. It just takes a lot of playing time for the passers to get used to where they're setting it, where that setter likes to have that ball. And like you said in the first game, a lot of those passes are getting right up by the net. And then that setter gets to know where outside hitters or inside hitters, where they like to have it. And it just takes a lot of playing time to get that consistency. So when you mix in other players, you lose some of that.
So we've got let's see, how many of those girls are starters? Well, we're going to miss all of them because you've got Haley Webb, who is constantly in there. You've got Callista Hammer, who's constantly in there, and then you've got Jess Halverson, who may as well be a starter because she plays more than some of the starters do, even.
Yeah. So this is, I don't know what Coach Morin's going to do tonight. I don't know who played mostly in the tournament that they just had on Saturday. I was not at that tournament. I was at the JV tournament. But they did come out on top. They won that tournament, and that was at Calvary.
So, the girls have really the varsity girls at least have really started kind of clicking as of late. And I know at the beginning of the season we talked about the JV team really giving the varsity girls a run for their money. But I think as the season has progressed and the varsity girls have embraced the certain roles that coaches put them in, this varsity team has really come into itself. And I think have a lot more strengths than weaknesses when compared to the JV squad.
Yeah, they're finding their groove. And this time of year, they should be finding their groove. I think they're starting to peak. I think sounds like last week the way they played on Saturday, they're definitely finding their groove. I'll be curious to see how they play against Calvary tonight.
So we'll have a full match where we just had one set for a match, which is AV1 against Calvary. We're going to have a full match tonight for the varsity squad here on fall break evening, the eve of the break from everything. I don't even know. Do the girls have practice tomorrow, or are the girls off tomorrow? I don't know.
They do not have practice tomorrow, so we are on full fall break. We
so
just happen to have this game on fall break, which is unusual.
So we're winding down in the season. I don't even know how many games we got left.
I think we got 2 next week.
Do you want to do the one in Arthur tonight?
I could. I need to learn all this stuff to see how to hook things up and how to get YouTube going on my laptop.
I think it's supposed to rain Monday, so if it rains,
You'll be there.
We'll be there.
Okay.
Because, I'm not quite for sure. Everybody dreads the Arthur game. Especially, that didn't come out right. Everybody dreads the drive.
That's a long
to
drive.
the Arthur game. I've been down there twice this month picking up cabinetry, and it's just a long drive.
Yeah. The silver lining is if you can get a piece of pie over there.
That's true.
That
That's
makes
true.
it a little more palatable.
Yep. You got some fine food over there, and I'm all about the fine food. Did you wind up going to that pie place in Hayworth after the Hayworth game?
I did, yeah.
Was it as good as
nice
advertised?
Piece of pie. It wasn't quite as good as a Busy Corner.
Okay.
In Arthur.
Well, is there?
No,
is there quite
that's
as
hard
good?
to compete with.
Yeah. So we got another 6 minutes here of hitting balls back and forth. And you've got Morin back there at the serve line, pacing back and forth, staring down his competition for the evening, glaring them down.
Sizing them up.
I need to ask Grace. We all know that wasn't a stare down, but it sure looked like a stare down there. If you know Grace at all, the last thing that she would ever do.
Right. Unless it was Riley. So they're in youth group together, so she might have given her the eye.
Or are you all right? I didn't hurt you right there, did I? Look at Morin get the jumps right there. He's trying to say it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
Well, we have a lot of girls here tonight.
We
do. When you're looking at the other side of the net, it's like, wow, we have a big team.
Yeah. We're very blessed this year to have let me look here on the roster real quick. So we've got do we have anybody on this roster there's no new Cornerstone students that are new this year on the varsity roster?
Not on the varsity roster.
Okay. On the JV roster, we've got a couple. We've
Yep.
got London DeHart. We've got
Maris, Largent.
Yep.
And I think those are the only two on JV.
Okay. And then I also get the honor and privilege. You don't have any kids in junior high.
Nope.
Grace is your youngest,
Grace
right?
is the youngest.
Do you want to do junior high volleyball games with me?
No.
Thanks
Thanks for asking,
There
though.
wasn't a whole lot of thought to that. You sure you don't want to just take some time? No, I got a middle daughter that's going to fire up, and
So
we got a whole nother season yet.
Oh, wow. When's that start?
I believe mid-November.
Okay. So you're back to back.
We ramp this down, and she starts. That's you know, I enjoy high school athletics. I enjoy athletics at any level. There's just a big difference between junior high and high school.
Yeah,
there is.
Is Morin coaching junior high still?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, wow.
So he's both 7th and 8th grade coach.
That'll be good for the program in general, just to be
Yeah.
building that junior high program, and they go right into high school. And yeah.
It's I think I've said it before, but I'll say it again. It's we are honestly an incredibly lucky school to have Jeff as the head coach.
Amen.
He has turned this program into he's turned this program from an extracurricular into something that kids want to do. It's not just, hey, I think I'll go play volleyball. It's like, if you want to play volleyball, I mean, this is the team to play on right here.
Yeah.
And he's made that culture. So it's not just it's not an event, it's a culture.
Well, and they're going places. You can, I mean, even from the beginning of this season to where they're at right now, you can see huge strides in just their skill. They're winning games. I mean, and they're giving good teams a run for their money.
You know, this is the JV squad, because that's what I've seen up until this year, was a squad that lost one match last year. And, you know, they're getting a taste of high school, and, you know, they're facing juniors at the JV level at some different schools. But the one thing that I wanted to point out to the girls, and I consistently point out to my daughter, is that the level of talent that they have played this year is way, 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 way higher than anything they've seen in years past. And that's by design. I mean, Coach Morin's done that by design.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they've responded well to it.
They have. There have been moments.
It's been a little bit of a shocker
There's
to
been
them,
moments.
too. But I think, too, they're still finding their feet in the high school level, and they're interacting with girls, even on their own team, that they're not used to interacting with. So it just takes time to find that. We are going to
miss the senior class.
Yeah.
We really will, because there's a lot of experience that is graduating this year. But there is, thankfully, a lot of up-and-coming young talent.
Yeah, so we'll be celebrating senior night. I think that's in 2 weeks here. So we are winding down.
Yeah, senior night's the second to last game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're 2.5 weeks away from the end of the season, or actually regionals. And so that'll be interesting to kind of see where we get placed and where we go.
I got to check out this Star Spangled Banner. I don't want to add.
Go ahead.
I don't want to add to play while we're doing the Star Spangled Banner.
You almost played the Australian national anthem, so double check that. We're going to go through. We got about 50 seconds left till the start of this one, and then I'm going to do starting lineups out on the home PA. We'll do a prayer, and then Jeremy and I will be back with you here in about 5 or 6 minutes. So enjoy the silence, because this is the best air that you'll hear all night right here. That's more stressful than it needs to be.
Well done. Dan the man pulls it out.
I'm glad that anthem actually worked.
Oh, man. I am technologically challenged. Like Dan said, I just about played the Australian anthem.
True story. True story. Oh, boy. So Hancock, Unruh, Witt, Damarajan, Smith, and Hideman are your starters for the Cyclones. And Damarajan will come in right away for Olivia Smith, as is practice.
This might look easy on TV, but it's not easy. Dan makes it sound easy, but it's not.
It's actually, anybody can do it. It's child's play. It's child's play. That's why the high schoolers are up here. They make us all the better.
Uh-huh.
All right, so Cyclones won the toss. They're going to get to serve first. Back to serve is Hideman. Back row, dug out by the Knights. Back up front, near side, out of bounds, has to go over. Does, but they're going to play that one. Back up to the net. Hideman over to Hancock. Hancock fires over. Return, dug out nicely. Far side. Back is Wetzel. Or sorry, that is Jackson. And she puts that down for the first point of the night as a quick side out over to Calvary Knights. So did Calvary play Cornerstone at the tournament?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Knights back to serve. This one served hard, but into the net. And so a quick side out back to the Cyclones and Anna Hancock. Back now to serve. And Anna Hancock has just really impressed me as a player this year. Just fantastic. And then she's switching sides on me, going cross court and an ace. And nobody saw that coming. She normally serves from the near side. She's opposite corner now, serves cross court for the first ace of the night.
That ball had a little wiggle to it.
It did. Cornerstone up 2-1, now 2-2 as Hancock's second serve goes right into the net. And quickly into the game here for Anna is number 13, Grace Masters. So Grace is going back to the back row to do some digging here. Addie Jackson, nice serve, up to the net. Tried to bring it up the air, Hideman does. And that one's going to fall, and the Knights from Calvary up now 3-2. Jackson back with it again. Serves over the net. Back row, letting it go is Masters. And that will be a side out back to the Cyclones. Now tied up at 3.
So the student section getting into it here tonight.
So student section's into it. And a nice serve, and that's going to be a faux ace for Kate Hancock. And I'm here with Aiden Kinzinger. And Aiden, what do you think about the game thus far?
It's crazy.
Do you enjoy watching your sisters play?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Typical boy answer right there. And another point there for the Cyclones, as now the Cyclones are up 5-3. So, in your opinion, dude, what do the Cyclones need to do tonight to win?
I have no idea.
All right, so that's a great answer. We don't either, so it goes both ways. Kate Hancock, another nice serve over to the net, dug out by the Knights. Back to the back row, has to go over in 3. It does. Masters with it up to the front row. Hideman, near side. Nice kill by Unruh. What
oh
a
my word.
What a save.
Goes over the curtain.
Jiminy Christmas. And this one's going to go up and out of bounds, but Talk about missing everything you possibly can miss up in the ceiling.
You couldn't do that again if
No.
you threw the ball.
Nope. 6-3, Cyclones up by 3 here in set number 1. Another nice serve by Kate Unruh.
Oh,
Or excuse
and
me, Olivia
puts
Smith.
it down.
Up there with the block, and that's what she does so well. And a quick timeout here right off the bat by Calvary, as now they've kind of seen Cornerstone in play.
Yeah, that was a smart timeout
Yep.
by Calvary there.
Slow stuff up.
Yeah, Cornerstone is starting to really get ahead of steam going.
So if you were coach, Aiden, what are you saying to the girls right now?
I don't know.
Would you be encouraging them?
Yeah.
So what would you say is encouragement to the girls right now?
I'm not a coach, so I don't know.
All right.
I'd say keep doing what you're doing.
keep doing
'cause
what you're
up
doing.
7-3.
That's my boy. I don't know either. Don't worry about it.
It'll come to him
It'll
later.
7-3, so Cyclones up by 4 here in set number 1. JV, 1-set winners tonight.
So we have back-to-back Hancock serving here. So we had Anna first and now Kate.
Hancock serve. This one goes out of bounds to the near side. And a side out back to the Knights. And how quickly Tides can change from a timeout. It does it. It stonewalls the other team.
Gave him the old ice treatment.
Nice serve there by Cox. This one going out of bounds, though. And another side out back to the Cyclones. And it looks like Damarajan. No, I take that back. Carson Witt would be up to serve. And so into the game now is number 8, Adrian Gary. Back to serve. This one drops over to the middle. Played nicely by the Knights. Back across far side, just tipped over. Gary with it now. Damarajan has to bring it back to the front. Nice hit by Unruh just to get this one across. Set up to the middle from the spike line. Blocked at the net by Olivia Smith. Set up again. Far side, reached over, blocked once more time.
Blocked again.
And they've got to get it over. They're going to. And Unruh with it. Watch out. Right here. Boom. Unruh
She's on.
just smoked it. And a nice kill by Unruh to the back row. And you saw that one coming. Nobody else around.
Yeah.
Set perfect.
She had a great approach to it. She hammered it.
Gary back to serve. 9-4, 5-point Cyclone lead here in set number 1.
Good
back
serve.
row. Yeah, that was very nice. Up to the front. Libero has to hit it across. She does, but into the net. And that one's going to fall. 10-4. Cyclones now up by 6.
I'd say Cornerstone is rolling now. When you see Unruh hit hits like that, they're just going to keep going.
And again, it's a rivalry game. They don't have the exhaustion of the school day, so you would expect them to play incredibly well tonight. This one has to get over for the Knights by the libero on 3. Back up Hitteman. Back to Gary. Near side Unruh. Watch out. Oh,
wow.
Cats. And a great hit back row. Dug out by Damarajan. Nice save. Gary. Unruh has to reach back for it. Just tips this one over. Far side. Number 14. Back row out of bounds. And a point to the Cyclones now. 11-4.
So I'm watching Unruh right now, and her confidence level, I haven't seen her like this before. I truly have not.
Okay.
And I think it's coming off of a tournament weekend. They had a great weekend, and she is just hammering the ball.
Well, I was watching her warm up tonight, and her jumps were on. I mean, she's smiling, they're laughing, they're relaxed and having a good time.
Yeah.
They're a different team when they're having a good time.
That's for sure. And then when they can have some good hits like that, man, it just keeps going.
Yep, sure does. And then you have some bad hits, too.
Yeah. And she's laughing it
Yeah.
off. And that's
She
what
knew
you
it.
like to see. You don't
Yep.
want to see them get down.
Don't get hard on yourself. You're going to have those bad hits. 11-6. Cyclones now up by 5. Conk's back to serve for the Knights. Damarajan digs it out, but not quite far enough up to the front. Hitteman just has to get it across. She does. Back row. And that was a nice play on our behalf.
Yeah, that was going to go out.
Damarajan back row. Up to Gary. Gary now. Short set.
Oh,
Smith.
Smith puts it
Olivia
down.
Smith just reaches back.
That was a great approach by
It
Smith.
was.
They're approaching the net
Yes.
with confidence. And I think it's that weekend. You get first place in a tournament, and I'm sure they were feeling good after
Yep.
that. And you
Yep.
can see it right here.
Well, it's a confidence booster. You realize at that moment, I can do this. You know? What
wow.
a great serve.
Wow.
I mean, this is a different ball team right now. Anna Hancock up to Gary. Gary now backside. Hitteman. Hitteman reaches across, tips it out of bounds. Hit off the hand and down on the ground. And so a point over to the Cyclones now, 13-6.
And I'm starting to feel sorry for Calvary a little bit because Cornerstone is rolling right now.
They're experiencing us at our best. What a great, that one's just grazing the nets. Far side, nice hit out of bounds, though, by the Knights. And 14-6. And I'm not sure what we've got in the middle of the stage up there. You've got a guy in a camo outfit, like one of those sniper grass suits.
It's the abominable.
It's what?
It's a ghillie suit.
It's a ghillie suit? What is a ghillie suit?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, this one's blocked and played off the net, but it's going to fall. And the girls, again, hey, it's all right. We know we made a mistake. Let's correct that. And the ball's going to go over to Calvary now, 14-7. Cyclones up by 7 here in set number 1. But he's in a...
You've heard of the abominable snowman?
Yeah,
This is
right.
the abominable green bean.
That's right. My daughter did tell me it's green out tonight. I didn't wear green.
Oh, it's green out.
It's
I
green
haven't
out.
heard that.
Yep. Jackson with it, far side. Gary saves it. 3 hits, has to go over Unruh. Fires back row, dug out by the libero. Back up to the front now. Back set, a little bit off target, but does get over in 3. Back up to Gary. Gary sets up Anna Hancock, just a little bit out of bounds. And they're going to say she did. She ran into that net, or at least hit the post.
Well, I couldn't tell who actually hit the net because a Calvary player was right there too, so I don't know.
14-8. Calvary back within 6. Back row, dug out by Damarajan. Up to Gary. Gary, Anna Hancock loads and fires. Holy cats. They're hitting hard tonight.
Yeah, they are.
Unruh digs it out, up to Gary. And Smith with it. Over the top, back to the middle. They have to get it over on 3. They do. Dug out again by Damarajan. Gary, back set, hit him in. Fires cross court.
Wow.
What a pretty hit.
What an angle on that.
Holy cats. And Hitteman just fires cross court perfectly to where nobody was. And a side out back to the Cyclones. Damarajan serves now. Nice serve by Jenny. And an ace by Damarajan.
They are clicking on all cylinders right now.
This is fun to watch. Man, we've had some hard hits tonight. And the serves have just been lasers tonight.
And just barely clearing the net.
Right. Gary, Hancock loads, fires, tips. I thought it was tipped, but it must have grazed the top of the net. I thought there was some delineation in that ball when it got hit over the net, but I am blind, and it's 16-9. Out of bounds. No, an ace. So the libero, Riley Gerber, back for the Knights with a nice ace to the back corner.
Yeah, I actually thought that was looking like it was going to go out
too.
So I don't blame her on that one. Anna, watch that one go out.
Gerber back with it one more time. Fires middle. Unruh digs it out, back up front. Adrian Gary near side. Anna Hancock just has to get it over for 3. She does. Back up to the middle. Far side, reaching over, just tips by Jackson. Nice save there by Gary. Kate Hancock with it. Backs it over the net. Back to the middle. Set. Far side. Reaches back. Fires back row. Out of bounds. And a nice eye by Jenny just to let that one go.
Yeah, so just getting late in the season, they just are on. Like Jenny back at the back line, she didn't really have to think much about that one. She knew it was going to be out.
And she is the anchor of this team. She is. She is so stinking solid in that back row.
What a serve.
Beautiful ace there.
That thing just dove as soon as it went over the net.
So Olivia Hitteman picking up an ace here. 18-10. Now Cyclones up by 8.
And if the Cyclones can play like this going into regionals, we might have something.
This is a different ball team tonight that we're seeing. Knights get it over in 3. Back to Unruh. Hitteman now. Just quick tip over. Read nicely by the Knights. Back far side. Tipped it over the net. Dug out by Hitteman. Backside. Damarajan. Near side. Anna Hancock. Fires cross court. Nice dig by the Knights. 3. Have to get it over. Do it again. Hitteman. Damarajan. Anna Hancock reaches back. Kind of tips this one over. Fires back cross court. Damarajan with a great save. Hitteman. Unruh. Reaches back. Far side again going the wrong way. They've got to get it over. They do. Anna Hancock. Here we go. Right here. Watch this. Just a little bit too hard of a set for Witt. Have to get it across. Great volley here by both squads. Hit him in. Back to Damarajan, has to get it over in 3. They do. And Calvary really playing well here. Fires back row out of bounds. And they're going to say it was tipped at the net.
Oh.
They're going to say it was tipped at the net. Kate Hancock have the hand up there.
Yeah, I can see that.
18-11 now. 7-point Cyclone advantage.
Great volley on that one.
That
I
was
think we had
pretty.
about 20 hits on the ball.
Glory Wetzel back to serve. That one's going to go long and out of bounds. And the Knights back within 6 at 18-12 here in set number 1. I must have said something because all of a sudden we dropped half our
Wow.
viewers.
Did you tell another joke?
I apparently did. Near side, Kate Hancock loads, fires, and that one hit well, but out of bounds, about 2 feet out. And 18-13, 5-point Cyclone advantage.
And Kate is swinging hard. We just need it to go on top of the ball just a little bit more.
Dug out by Damarajan. Far side, hit him in. Over to Anna Hancock. And Anna Hancock hit that one up in the air a little bit. And all of a sudden, the Knights back within 4, and Morin wants a timeout. So, you know, this is, again, not probably the – now's the gut check. Now's the gut check. You played fantastic all night long. You've had a couple of errors here, and we're going to see how you respond. This is what makes good teams great right here. Had a little bit of a trip, and we're going to see how that turns out for them.
Yeah, see him make some adjustments here. And it's really coming down to they're just getting behind the ball on those hits a little bit. I think the sets actually are right there. There's been a couple of sets that have been a little bit off, but for the most part, they're right there, and we're just getting behind the ball instead of on top of it.
Don't get too comfortable with any score. The Knights have shown here tonight that they can hang with the big swings. They've dug some out and had some nice volleys in there.
Yeah, they've had some great digs because the girls have been hitting them hard at them.
Yeah. Glory Wetzel back for the Knights to serve. Lobbing serve back row. Damarajan up to Hitteman. Hitteman now back to the middle. Unruh just has to get it across. Came off her hand wrong. And down on the ground. And the Knights back within 3 at 18-15.
That's a tough change up for Lauren. She's used to jumping and hitting that ball. She had to keep the feet on the floor.
Wetzel again, far side. Now hit the middle. Damarajan. Back to Hitteman. Hitteman just kind of tips it across. Up. What a great block by Kate Hancock to read the open spot and put it where nobody is.
And she got up on that one, had some good hang time, and she actually looked over the net on that one.
Kate is on tonight. Kate has had not a Kate Hancock average year, and tonight she is playing like the player that I think everybody realizes she will be.
Yeah.
20-15, another point where they say the Knights are in the net, so Cyclones Anna Hancock back with it. 5-point lead here in set number 1. Hancock back with it, fires back corner, dug out nicely by the Knights. Back up to the middle, and that one's going the wrong way. Just has to be hit across and out of bounds. That one was close as well, but Anna Hancock let it go, and it's a point to the Cyclones. And an ace by Anna Hancock right there as that one just goes off the outstretched hand of Macy Jackson. 22-15, 7-point Cyclone lead. Another nice serve, just grazing the top of the net. And I don't care how good of a receiving team you are, when that ball hits the top of the net, there is no good serve receive defense that you've got.
It's hard to read where that ball's going to go once it hits the top of the net.
23-15, 8-point lead. Hancock back floating one out bounds. And the Cyclones give this one back to the Knights as Grace Masters checks back in for Anna Hancock.
And Anna hitting her serves hard on that. And Anna has been moving around the court on her serves.
She has. She was serving from this side, the near side this time around. Unruh, nice dig. Hit him in. Hancock just has to get it across. I'm not quite for sure what that was, but
well, again, she's been
Coach,
used to jumping.
Yep, Coach said that right there. You've got to swing at that.
Yeah.
I think she tried to punch that ball over just to keep it in play. Damarajan was just great. Far side, Witt, cross court, but out of bounds.
Close.
But a nice hit by Witt. 23-18, Knights back within 5. Serve cross middle, dug out again by Damaraj, and this one's going to be trouble up the net. And it does make it over.
Oh!
And Calvary with a net save that just goes over the top, and then Cyclone's unable to do anything with it.
That was just good scrappy play by the Knights on that one.
23-19, 4-point Cyclone advantage here in set number 1. Fires across, dug out. What a nice dig by Lauren. Back row, Damarajan digs it out, up to Hitteman. Hitteman now, near side, Unruh, fires, and down.
Yes, she hit that one perfect. I mean, she got right on top of the ball.
And she is as on tonight as I think we've ever seen her play.
Yeah, I think this is her best game I've seen her play.
Yep. Kate Hancock back to serve. Looking at match point. They've got to get it across here for it. It is brought back by Masters. Up to the net. Unruh with it. Or excuse me, Olivia Smith. They should have called that too.
Yeah.
That one's going to go off and down.
And that's it.
Set 1. Olivia Smith is looking like, Coach, I hit that twice.
Well, they didn't catch the double hit on here first.
They might have let that one go. 25-19, a set 1 victory to the Cyclones. So we will have set number 2 coming up for you in just a couple of minutes. But, we've said it repeatedly. The girls are on tonight. There's just no doubt about it. The girls are playing and having fun.
And Calvary's playing well, too. That was a good set. They had some good back and forth on that.
Calvary, I know they've got some JV players that are playing varsity as well, or a majority of them. But they're hanging right with a very, very good varsity squad.
Their digs have been great. We've been
Fantastic.
hammering at them.
Yeah, their back row is fantastic.
Yeah, so they may be having a little bit of growing pains right now with a young squad, but they keep that kind of play up, and they'll be good here.
I'll give hats off to the coach because she's a friend of mine. Hats off, Amy. You've done well.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Coach Hareen. My fault. It's all right. I called Jeff by Jeff's first name. But that's just because he doesn't have any hair, so. I don't know what he's doing down there right now.
I don't know if he's changing up the lineup or what's going on. So those of you watching at home, you might have realized we've lost our whole camera crew.
We have. There is no score tonight. There's one camera tonight. It's just a webcam. It's just like a road game, but that's just because that we had a day off school. So, the nice thing about the tech team coming up here and helping us is I think the band teacher, I shouldn't even have said the band teacher, one of the teachers here, probably the band teacher, lets them out during certain periods to come up here and set up and make sure stuff works. And it's kind of a, you can go up and do this or you can sit down here and do this. So
it's a nice trade-off.
Yeah. But tonight we got none of that. Mason Dems, I'm looking for you.
He's over there in the student section.
No, you're kidding.
Yes,
Is he
he
really?
is. I see him. In the gray sweatshirt there with his back to us, black hat.
That's just totally uncool.
Yeah.
Hello, darling. How are you? I'm not. I'm giving you a hug. She doesn't want to talk, so she walked away thinking I was going to make her talk, but I'm just giving her a hug. So embarrassed.
Aubrey
It's
had
so
some-
embarrassing, Aubrey.
You had some great digs in
You
the
did.
JV game. Good job. Yes, you did.
You had the one that went off your arm and went the wrong way. The net's this way, but
you're
it
going
is
to
what
have
it is.
one or two of those.
That was the worst game I think we've ever.
You had a good
It was
good
rough, but
tournament on Saturday. Yeah.
Tournament was good. Shouldn't have what? Everybody plays different every night, It's when you learn that consistency, that's when you guys become fantastic. What would you
Absolutely.
like to say to everybody listening out there? There she goes. That was it right there. That was it.
That's all it
Yep.
takes.
Freshman girls. So we've got our starting 5 back out there. So you've got Hitteman, Smith, Anna Hancock, Unruh, Carson Witt, and Kate Hancock, with Smith coming right back out, Damarajan coming into that back row. And Calvary should have first serve here. Cornerstone's up 1-0 against the Knights. And both squads tonight have played fantastic, because there are large public schools that would have had a hard time competing with what we saw in the first set there. Nice serve, dug out nicely by Damarajan. Far side, Anna Hancock has to get it over. She does. Dug out with Libero. That one's going to be in the net. Trouble, and side out and point. First off of the second set to the Cyclones.
That was a great serve by Calvary right out of the box, and
That was
Damarajan was barely able to get under that one.
Anna Hancock, near side serve. Fires cross. That one back row out of bounds. And a point to
Cornerstone
Cyclones.
coming out swinging here. Great serve from Anna.
Well, thank you for that, Miss Hennard. Anna Hancock, that one. Did they say that was in or out? I wasn't watching. I was reading
out.
text.
Yeah,
that was
that
out of
went
bounds. So side out over to the Knights here.
Got Adrian Gary coming in for Anna.
I thought that Miss Hennard was sending me a recipe that I could read, but alas, no, it was merely a text. So, hey, we've got our color commentator just joining us now, Miss Sarah
Yeah.
Kinzinger. Knights, nice serve over the net. This one's going to be right at the net. Tip back row, and Hitteman had to reach up for that one, and as that ball's going away, she tipped it, went out the back of the court, and we're tied up at 2.
Yeah, Knights got up on that one, just tipped it over.
Back row, Damarajan up in the air now. Hitteman near side, and Unruh, not sure why she didn't load up for that one. And a nice tip by the Knights, perfectly placed where nobody else was, and I'm wondering why Lauren didn't.
Just a little out of sequence on that one.
3-2, Knights now up by 1 here in set number 2. Fires cross, this one going to hit the post and go out of bounds. And a side out back to tie the game at 3-3. So Kate Hancock going to come out now. Olivia Smith coming back in.
Got the dynamic duo up front, the two blockers, Unruh and Smith.
And Addie Jackson back in for the Knights as well.
That serve went into the net.
And a side out right back to the Knights, 4-3. Back to serve Maddie Whistler. Maddie serve, dug out by Unruh. Back to the front. This one's going to be trouble, and it goes over and falls out of bounds. And the Cyclones here need to get a little bit of a rhythm going.
Yes.
They're down by 2, 5-3 here in set number 2. Fires cross court. That one an ace. A pretty ace by Whistler. And I don't know what we said. Again, we did it again. Went from like 22 down to, or from 16 down to nothing. I think it's got to be my body odor is what it's got to be.
It's coming through the mic.
It is. Timeout to the Cyclones, 6-3. The Knights from Calvary on top here have come out and had some very nice serves. And, again, in typical Cyclone fashion, I think they need that rhythm to get back into it, and they have not had that consistent dig, set, spike at all yet this set.
Yeah, you need a couple of those just to make them feel like, okay, we're playing again. It just seems like they come out a little cold.
Yep, a little flat here. That should change. Wetzel back to serve again for the Knights. Whistler, I'm sorry. And this one looping serve back row. Dug out. Near side, here she goes. Back row, puts it down. Lauren Unruh picking up where she left off, and maybe that's the catalyst we need.
Yeah, there you go. So she hit that one hard, but she almost went under the net on that.
She did.
She took off from about 4 feet back.
And she was really moving forward, too. Carson Witt back to serve, 6-4. Calvary leads by 2 here in set number 2. Cornerstone leads 1-0. Witt, nice serve, dug out. This one's going to be up the net and in trouble. And falls on the side of Calvary, even though Olivia Smith was up there to block it. And Cyclones now back within 1.
I want to see a block here from Smith or Unruh.
Witt, nice serve
Here
again.
we go.
Up in the net. What a great block by Unruh. And then Smith on the tip from Unruh. Far side, reaching across, back row, out of bounds. And a point back to the Cyclones.
That was close. I think Coach helped the ref make the right call on that. The real CCA. What's this?
Because Calvary Christian Academy is CCA as well.
You said that early on.
Right.
I'm a little slow on the
That's
outtake.
right. Tip by Smith that goes off a couple of Knight hands and out of bounds. And Cyclones back in the lead now, 7-6. Witt back to serve for the Cyclones. Fires cross court, dug out nicely by the Ibero. Up to the front row, far side, reaches back, tips on the net. This one's going to be problems. And, it goes back to these balls that hit the top of the net throw any team for a loop.
Yep.
Any team.
Yep.
I don't care how good you are.
7-7.
Haven Cox back to serve.
Adrian
Damarajan has to get it up. Unruh does get it across. Back set. Reaches cross court. Fired out of bounds. And a side out back to the Cyclones. So, Sarah Kinzinger, what have you seen thus far that you really like from the Cyclones? She has nothing for me. Yeah. What is it with people? I mean, what are you going to embarrass yourself to the 4 people that are listening?
You stick a microphone in their
I know.
face and they don't know any words.
Come on. It's like, anyway, 9-7 as we got the return going out of bounds for the Cyclones. Damarajan's going to have, Unruh's going to have service number 2 here. Cyclones up by 2. Second set, yep. Unruh back to serve. Nice serve, back row. This one's going to be right up at the net. Serve going across. And they're going to say 2 hits on that set.
And Smith lucked out on that
Yep.
one. She got the net.
Yep.
Good aggressive play, but she got the net.
10-7, Cyclones up by 3. Unruh with it again. Fires back row. Dug out by the libero. This one up at the net again. Quick tip over. Dug out by Unruh. Back set by Witt. Over to Hitteman. Hitteman fires back row. Off the hands of the libero and out of bounds. And a point to the Cyclones.
Good kill there by Hitteman. She was hitting to the back left corner.
Timeout by Calvary. And the Cyclones, down by as many as 4 here early on, have come roaring back and now lead by 4 at 11-7 here in the second set.
So seeing some good perseverance there by the Cyclones. They were struggling there for a little bit. Had a timeout, came back, and
There is potential. We're home before 8 o'clock tonight.
wow.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
7:15.
that first set.
Yeah,
That didn't take but maybe not even 20 minutes.
yeah. It's good because I haven't had dinner. What'd you make for dinner tonight? Did you make anything, babe? Leftovers.
Leftovers tonight.
I can do
Meatloaf.
leftovers. Actually, I think it's brisket from Annie's Eats.
Ooh, that's
I
good
got a tray of that.
leftovers.
Yeah, I'm okay with leftovers. If you've never had Annie's Eats,
So what's it like in the combine cab for supper? You get the whole farmer.
so I shouldn't
meal?
tell you this, but there's not a whole farmer meal.
No.
But it's a cooler that is stocked with anything that you possibly want.
Ooh,
From beef jerky all the way down to the best of sweet tarts.
nice.
Unruh digs it out back to Witt. Witt now setting up near side. Anna Hancock firing cross court. Dug out by the Knights. Back up front, has to get over in 3. Back row, Unruh. Back up to Witt. Witt, near side. Olivia Smith!
Wow!
Holy cats!
What a hit from Smith.
Again, the best hit I've seen her make all year.
The timing was perfect, and that's what this comes down
Yep.
to is timing.
It is. The girls have the skill, but they're just locked in tonight. And Unruh with another great serve, and the Cyclones all of a sudden up 13-7.
That was a rocket of a serve.
Substitutions back in the game now. For the Knights, coming into the game, number 7, Bretta Guthrie. Having a seat, Annie Jackson. Unruh, back row. Dug out, and Guthrie goes for it. And off her arm and out of bounds. And the Cyclones now up 14-7.
And look at the confidence that Lauren has on her
I know.
serve. You know, she's got a little different approach, but she is just swinging hard. Not holding back
No,
at all.
there is nothing held back right now. Another great serve. Back row. This one's going to go off Guthrie's hands as well.
And that's 3 aces in a row
Yep.
from Lauren.
15-7. And I would venture to say you're going to see a different type of serve right here. I don't know if Unruh will hit the same
change
serve.
up?
Yep, little change up here.
No.
Nope, same. Back to the front. Knights dig that one out, have to get it over. They do tip it onto the net, and it's going to be 4 hits. But at least return there after 3 aces by Unruh. One more, and you'll have a substitution coming back into serve here. Unruh, nice serve, back row. That one tipped. It would have went out of.
Oh, they didn't catch the tip.
Wow. No argument from Coach. I think he probably thought that'd be best right now. 16-8, and the Knights now with an opportunity. back to serve, number 14. Macy Jackson. Jackson back row, dug out by Unruh. Up to the front, Carson Witt. Near side, they're going to say 2 hits. Yep. Witt has those moments. Both Witt and Heil. Natalie has those as well, where once in a while you're going to get the 2 hits. And I wish my daughter was here. She'd explain it to me again, but there is a reason how they call that. I still don't remember it. Jackson back row. That one's going to go out of bounds. And a side out back to the Cyclones. Now 17-9. Cyclones lead.
Olivia Smith up to serve here.
Substitution in the game. Damarajan comes out. Kate Hancock comes back in. Nice serve by Smith. Back row up to the front. Tipped up in the air. Has to go over on 3. Does. Back row. Brought up by Unruh. Over to Witt. Kate Hancock just tips this one over. Dug out by Whistler. Near side. Back to the middle. Tipped over. Back row. Smith. Now up to Witt. Witt. Near side. Anna Hancock loads. Fires. And what a put down. Back corner by Anna Hancock.
Yeah, nice hit to the back right corner. Not much they could do about that one. That was right at the line.
And another timeout now by the Knights. That'll be their second. It's their final one. And girls smiling down there in the huddle. And why wouldn't you be tonight?
Absolutely. They're playing great ball right now.
Yeah, this is postseason play. They're at that level.
They're peaking about when they need to, and they may even get a little better before the end of the season, hopefully.
But confidence abounds this evening.
This is the level of play that they're going to need whenever they meet up with Blue Ridge.
Hang on, my wife has a question. What's your question?
I just was wondering what they were yelling.
I'm the real CCA. I don't know. The real CCA. Both CCAs. Olivia Smith back to serve. This one's going to go out of bounds. And she's a little frustrated at herself for that one.
She was bummed out about that one.
Smith's going to come out. Damarajan come back in for the Cyclones and back to serve number 0 for the Knights, the libero, Riley Gerber. 18-10, 8-point Cyclone lead here. Set number 2. Cyclones already lead 1-0. Gerber back to serve. Serve, that one came off her hand wrong. And under the net, and a side out back to the Cyclones, and we're going to have Olivia Hitteman back to serve for the green and black.
So the real CCA, a lot of these students for Cornerstone actually have gone to the other CCA at some point.
You aren't kidding.
So a friendly rivalry here.
A lot of them all know each other.
Yeah.
Hitteman with a nice ace there, 20-10, now up by 10, back row. That one's going to go out of bounds. And a side out back to the Knights, 20-11. But this is, again, the culture that coach has built, you know.
Absolutely.
Students coming on their day off to support the girls. Back row, dug out by Damarajan. Hitteman now, near side, reaches back Witt. Back row, dug out nicely by Gerber. Back up front, back at the net. This one's going to be trouble, but they do get it over. They're going to say she was outside of the shtick when she hit that one.
Yeah, like you said earlier, one of the things that coach has done is he's actually given the girls time out of practice early to go watch a soccer team.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
what you have here is a soccer team, most of them over there.
Yep, they all had practice tonight, so after practice they come, sit out on the stage, and cheer on the girls.
So mutual support from both teams. You know, I was thinking last week was homecoming. It'd be nice to have a Thursday night homecoming volleyball game. You know, a big rivalry.
So, but would the girls like that, though, being able to have to get ready?
Well, it'd be Thursday,
Thursday
during
before.
homecoming week.
Okay, before, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then a soccer.
That would be cool.
And then a soccer game on Friday night.
Yep. Let both teams kind of get out there and show what they can do.
Yeah.
22-13. Timeout this time by Cornerstone. And I think you're going to see some substitutions in the game here. Cyclones need 3 to close out the night. But, you know, of all the discussion we've had tonight, I've been very impressed by how Calvary has handled some good play by Cornerstone tonight. They really have.
Yeah, they've been playing great defense. I haven't seen a lot of big hits from Calvary, but they play solid fundamental volleyball.
Yeah. Their back row is solid. Being able to dig out some of these hard hits that Cornerstone's sending their way. And it's just, we're going to – it's two different schools at different growing pains, and it could be shifted different next year. You just never know from year to year. And, when they've got some good eighth graders moving up to freshmen, you're going to graduate some from Cornerstone. We could be looking at an entirely different outcome come next year. And that's what makes this so much fun from year to year.
Yeah. Although we've got a good underclassmen group that's full of talent, just need to find their feet here in the high school level.
Yep. And it all starts with Kate Hancock and Carson Witt. So back to serve now. Number 6, Maddie Whistler. Nice serve. Dug out. Back far side, Unruh kind of left hand hooks it to get it back. Adrian Gary struggled with that return just a little bit. And point over to the Knights. 22-14, Knights within 8 here in set number 2. Knights need to go on a run here. Whistler, again, grazes top of the net, and what a great save. And a tip by Hitteman. Far side has to get over, not going to happen. And a side out to bring the Cyclones within 2. And Carson Witt, we'll see if she can't end this one here tonight. 23-14. Witt back with it to serve, fires cross net, dug out back to the front. Far side for the Knights, tipped over. Dug out by Unruh. This one's going to go over the net. Played to the back row. Reaching back in the back row, tipped over, dug out by Witt. Up front to Damarajan. Now near side Unruh just tips it over. They're going to let Calvary make the mistake here. Back row, dug out by Gary. Back up to Witt. Over to Unruh, Smith to get that one. Back row has to go over. This one's going to go over and out of bounds. And we're going to have match point coming up with Carson Witt. A lot going on in that volley.
Yeah,
all over the place.
Yeah, that was a little unorthodox, but it worked.
Witt with match point serve here. Fires. This one grazes the net, and an ace to win it. Carson Witt.
Just like that.
The freshman phenom puts this one down, and a little wave from both teams because we don't shake hands even though we've all touched the same ball, but that's what we do apparently nowadays. 25-14. Cyclones victorious in 2 straight sets. And JV also victorious in 1 set tonight. And Jeremy, I don't care who you were playing tonight. The Cyclones were locked in.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see them play a Blue Ridge or a Leroy or somebody like that because they were on tonight, and Calvary took the brunt of that one tonight.
Yeah, this was a team that has obviously had some confidence in something because not only did they play incredibly solid tonight, their timing was down, their passing was down, their setting was down, and the few mistakes that they made, they laughed off, brushed it off their shoulders, and just kind of moved on.
Yeah, so the biggest thing I saw tonight was just unhindered, just full-out hitting.
Yep.
Unruh was bringing her arm way back and just unloading, and so was Smith. I saw the best hit I've ever seen out of Smith tonight. And she was hammering the ball, too. And all of them were hitting very good serves. We didn't see very many serves that were not – I would say we saw a few.
We did, but you're not seeing the serves that we saw 3 weeks ago when they're going 15 feet past the back line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are serves that they're purposely trying to get it as tight as they can to that line, and they might be pushing it over 2 feet.
Yeah,
you know?
And they're just hitting the ball a lot harder than they were early in the season, too. So you're going to have some of those that are going to fly past that back line.
Fun atmosphere, fun victory, and a great night tonight. We're getting out of here early tonight.
Woohoo.
7:25, and we get to go home. I think it's been 8:30 some nights here. We're getting out of here.
Yeah.
But Calvary taking the brunt of it tonight to a Cornerstone squad that was locked on, but hands off to the Knights as well. They played fantastic to absorbing some of these swings and some of these hits that the Cyclones put on tonight. But regardless, Cyclones come out victorious, both JV and varsity. JV in 1 set tonight, varsity in 2 straight sets. And we will have more Cyclone volleyball action potentially Monday night. We'll see what the weather does. I'm happy to send this with you if you want to put this all together.
I actually would try it if I can figure out some of the technology.
I'll
I'd
show
be
you
happy
tonight.
to,
We'll
yeah.
see if we can't bring you the Arthur game come Monday night. But regardless, we had a good time bringing this to you tonight. For Jeremy Masters, I'm Dan Kinzinger. You guys have a great night.
Good night.